I have the pleasure of introducing the speaker for today's ceremony, our guest speaker, Dr. Karen West. Dr. West has become a friend. I first got to know her when she became the president and CEO and executive director of the American Dental Education Association, just after her tenure as dean at UNLV in Las Vegas. She has been an incredible leader for the American Dental Education Association. It is the soul of the scholarship and work that we do in dental education in the Dental Academy. And it's a pleasure that she said yes when I made that call a couple of months ago to come and to greet you and to help us honor you on your special day. So it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Karen West.
Greetings, graduates, faculty, staff, and families. I am honored to be here with you today, and I would like to thank Dr. Dennis Mitchell for the invitation to share this incredible moment and special day. I also want to recognize Dr. Alan Formicola and Dr. Ira Lamster, former deans here at your college. I would also like to acknowledge the distinguished and celebrated faculty on stage with me today. I would like to give greetings and acknowledgement to the families, friends, and other supporters of the graduates who are present. You have persevered. You have laughed. You have cried when your bank accounts got low. You have remained undaunted in the support of your graduating student doctor. And we honor you today and say thank you for all you have done. Looking at many of you who are graduating today, you do remind me of myself early in my career with plans of building a successful practice in oral health, with hopes to make a difference in the profession, but also with the desire of being a successful caregiver to my family, my parents, and my future children. But as with all people, I had fears. I would sometimes have this overall feeling of lacking something or inadequacy, regardless of the evidence of my success. You just heard me describe my early self, the self with lots of hopes and fears, the me who early on wondered if I was enough. But I persevered and I grew, just as you will. But why will that happen? Simon Sinek, the author of Start With Why, once said, "Everyone has a why. It's what gets us up in the morning. It's what keeps us going through the day. It's what leaves us fulfilled at night. It's the reason we do what we do and why we do it." Today, I want to talk with you about knowing your why. Let us take a moment to rewind back to June of 2020 when you applied to dental school. As you recall, the world had completely paused. We were in the early waves of a pandemic, no vaccine, no clear answers, and so many fears. The pandemic uprooted all of our lives and in a relatively short period of time. We sheltered in our homes, not knowing for how long. Our connections were through Zoom. And when we went out for groceries, for example, we did so, practicing social distancing and wearing a mask, wiping down our shopping cart, and disinfecting our boxes of Cocoa Pebbles and Pop-Tarts once we got home. Now you know what I eat for breakfast. Many of you were in the throes of planning for your senior year of college and deciding whether to apply to dental school immediately or apply post-pandemic, or maybe take a gap year and enjoy time away from studying. But you were also witnessed at that time to advancements in healthcare and improvements in the practice of dentistry. Frontline healthcare providers were suddenly the lead story on the nightly news and cheered by the communities they provided. But between the accolades and applause, many of you did lose loved ones and witnessed firsthand how the pandemic impacted our friends, families, and neighbors. And as I said, I imagine you were trying to figure out whether to ride out the pandemic or move forward for your dental plans in midst of all that uncertainty. But yet, you chose to move forward. Despite everything, you applied. You committed. You said yes to becoming a dentist. Not later, but now. You saw the need, the opportunity, and the potential to make a difference. And that choice, that why, is the reason that we are here today. From today through the rest of your professional journey, I encourage you to look back on why you chose to be a healthcare professional, why you chose oral health as your career path, and why we as dental professionals value and honor our patients. That question, why am I doing all this, will come up again and again throughout your career. It will come up when you're facing long days, tough cases, challenging patients, or even your own doubts. But if you stay rooted in your why, it'll keep you grounded and keep you going. Today marks the conclusion of one journey and the beginning of another. You've reached a pivotal milestone after years of late-night studying, simulations, lab work, clinical rotations, and other things, to only mention a few. How many power naps have you clocked? How many blacks of coffee or Monster energy drinks have you consumed? I don't even want to know the answer. How many all-nighters before finals? And they all led to this special moment. As a graduate of this dental school, it's important to recognize that you have received one of the finest dental educations in the country from one of the premier institutions in the world. Your knowledge base and qualifications are solid. You have not only been taught by some of the most respected professors, but have learned from mentors, from pioneers in oral health education, and you've learned from each other. You have mastered the science and practiced the art of dentistry. You have gained the confidence and skills of oral health care diagnosis and treatment. And you have learned the value and the responsibility of protecting and implementing care for others. In addition to utilizing all of your acquired knowledge and training, what is even more essential is keeping the compassion in your practice. Again, this is knowing and remembering your why. As you prepare for your professional journey, the fundamental anchor that drives you, that excites you, you should always be your own aspirations. I remind you again, why did you choose this path? Why did you want to make an impact? Always know your why, and you'll remain focused and remain on track. As you know, there are many communities where dental care isn't always guaranteed. There are patients who have gone years without a dental clinic, who live with daily pain, or who cover their mouths when they speak because they're ashamed of their smile. And what we've all learned, what we know to be true, is that oral health is not just about the mouth. It's about dignity. It's about confidence. It's about feeling good about who you are. It's about overall health and well-being. So when you step into clinical practice, or whichever area of dentistry you choose to join, remember, your focus should always be on the patient. Not insurance, not convenience, not ego, the patient. Your patients are more than appointments or cases. They are people with fears, hopes, They are part of families and communities. Listen to them with compassion. Learn their stories. When you take time to connect, to really see someone, the care you provide becomes personal. It becomes transformative. It is the bridge to your why. Every patient, regardless of their background, appearance, education, or ability to pay, deserves respect. A person struggling with addiction, a child who's scared, an elderly patient who forgets your name. Each one deserves your attention, your compassion, and your very best effort, because respect in the chair translates to empowerment beyond it. You became a dentist to make a difference, not just to be successful, but that's okay too. Whether you practice or live in a major city or rural town, your impact goes far beyond that physical setting. When you lift up your community by caring for your patients, you build trust, you create opportunity, and you become more than a provider. You become a pillar. The way you live and practice your profession reflects your values. Let it be a space where why comes to life. Professionalism does not begin when you open a practice or earn a title or a degree. It begins now. It begins with the values you carry into your work every day, what you stand for: integrity, equity, innovation, kindness. And in those inevitable hard days, come back to that why. It reminds you why you started and why you still care. In closing, we recognize that today 97 individuals are no longer student doctors, but they join the alumni of Columbia University College of Dental Medicine. As you enter whatever profession road you choose to take, I know you will continually demonstrate your why. When you are asked, why did you apply to dental school in the middle of a pandemic, and why did you choose to be a dentist? Go ahead and tell them your why. Tell them your story, because it may change their lives. Let us travel back again to 2020 for a moment. That year, Columbia University College of Dental Medicine asked its alumni to share words of encouragement to the graduating class of 2020. Over 60 alumni and friends responded with words of wisdom and congratulations. But now I want to share just one of those notes from 2020 with you. This was from Dr. Richard Feinstein, DDS, the class of 56, with a message to the class of 2020. And in my calculations, that puts him at approximately 90 years old in 2020. And it reads, and I quote, "You are entering a most wonderful profession at a most exciting era and time. We know more today because of all those who came before you. You now have the opportunity to take that legacy and improve on it. You are the future leaders and must assume the responsibility to not accept the status quo, but continue to help create better techniques, better instrumentation, and above all, more advances in knowledge. We who have committed and contributed in the past, pass the wand into your hands and wish you the very best in your endeavors in this incredibly exciting profession. You have to not only look into the future, but to create it. Congratulations and stay safe."